Hello everyone, it's Clint with Custom 3D Specialties here, and today we are going to do an unboxing, but first we're going to talk about some resin and a company called Ifun. Now, I have a couple bottles of resin sitting in front of me. We have some jewelry casting resin, so you print with this and then you can basically cast and mold and melt down some gold or silver, pewter, whatever you want, and actually make jewelry. We have some high clear resin. This is good for all different sorts of applications, from headlights to model car windshields, anything that you need a real high clear visibility. We have some ABS-like resin, a very tough, strong resin, used for functional parts. You can screw into it. It's a very tough resin. And we have some basic rigid resin. This would be good for like your prototyping, test models, D&D miniatures, stuff like that. This is just four, whoops, not that you can really see this, this is just four types of resin that Ifun carries. They carry a wide variety. Here, let me just bring these bottles up close to here. So this is the jewelry casting resin. This will be the high clear. This will be the ABS. And this will be the rigid. They do come in various colors. Some, depending on what line you're going with, some are limited to only 2 or 3 compared to something that has, 6 or 7. So let's move these out of the way real quick. So a little bit about Ifun. Let's see what's the best way here. Let's do this. A little bit about Ifun. They've been around since about 2015. One of the earlier companies in China to enter the 3D printing industry. They have a wide range of resins, and they have 2 LCD and DLP printers. Various types of resin, like I mentioned before. I only have 4 of them available at the moment, but they also carry high toughness, pressure, abrasive resins, casting resins, washable resins, elastic resins. Here's a couple of the people. They've built alliances with a couple of the jewelry makers, dental, and other up and downstream fields in the industry and 3D printing world. And so let's go to resins. Let's just give you a little brief what they got for resin here. So, like I said, they carry a wide variety of resins. They're more based towards industrial and dental, jewelry type making resin, but they do offer your basic and specialty resins for other things that you may need. So we have jewelry casting resin, we have denture base resin, we have water washable resin, we have high clear resin, high toughness resin, elastic resin, another jewelry casting resin, a pressure casting resin, a transparent brace resin, dental tray resin, dental casting resin, rigid resin, ABS-like resin. I'm going to say this one wrong. Gingiva mask resin, dental mold resin, temporary crown resin, and surgical guide resin. And as I mentioned, they have two printers, the D89 and the Mini Giant. The D89 is their first, it's the SLA, and the Mini Giant is a 4K mono LCD 6.6 inch screen. So let's just take a look at this guy. He's an 8.9 inch 4K mono. It's got built-in automatic air purification, more than 10 applications, 4K large format, fast printing. Optical efficiency reaches a 98%. Built-in automatic air purification system. Upgraded printing platform, clip-on shoot design. User-friendly operation. It's got a 5-inch touchscreen. But yeah, so that is the D89. And the Mini Giant, well, it does say on top. Here's an LCD printer, 6.6 inch, 4K mono. Resin molded temperature of 25 to 30 C. That keeps your resin at a constant temperature. Compatible with third-party resins. Uniform production. Deviation of 2%. Like I said, define the cold environment. Constantly keeps it at a 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. You have reduced your post-processing. You can see here, 50% magnification. You can also go to ifun3d.com if you want to look at this a little further. Precise printing. You can kind of see the deviation from between the mold and the 3D scan of what was actually printed. Very, very little. More compatible resins. So the build size on this is a 143 by 89 by 150. The resolution is 4098 by 2560. It's a 4K mono. Does come with a 5-inch touchscreen. Your XY pixel size is 35 UM. The native pixel size XY, yep. XY resolution is plus minus 0.05. Dynamic layer thickness 0.025 to 0.1. Your screen life is around 2,000 hours. Molding speed, yeah, LCD surface molding, okay, yep. Use a Shitu box. And the application of this is jewelry, dental, cast, hearing aids, orthopedic, and engineering parts. And like I said, these are based more towards industrial, but the normal consumer can also use them too. If you're into and want precise printing. So I hope you enjoyed the little strange but odd introduction, and I hope you found it a little informative. You know, people do use resin printing for more than just making miniatures. You know, it's becoming a lot more practical in the workforce and today in society. You know, like I mentioned, jewelry making, dental molds. You have houses being built out of 3D printing and stuff now. Bridges, boats. It's only going to keep going. But let's get on with the unboxing. I have a very special package here that I'm very, very excited to open. Now, I opened explaining this company because, like I said, they are more in the industrial field. And not a lot of consumers know about them. They may know about their resin, but this is, ooh, what's this? Must read before opening the package. Okay. After opening the package, pay attention to the position of the FEP film to avoid missing. After opening the package, confirm whether all accessories inside. Yep, that's a normal. Need to check several main parts after installing. Yep, that's the normal. Okay. It gives you a brief. Make sure to set the screen. Notes for use. Orientation or operation temperature. Materials needed. Yep, this is just your brief list of what you need. Frequently asked questions, and we have they give you four frequently asked questions and answers. And like I said, you can always reach out to any of them on Facebook. Ifun, Jojo, Melody, Carson. They're a great team to work with. They do a lot of live streams. A little while ago, I had seen them post about testing their new 6.6-inch resin printer. And I filled out the application and really wasn't sure what was going to happen. But, lo and behold, a few months later, I had got a response, and I was chosen to test and give a review on this lovely, let's see if I can get them out, on this little lovely industrial 3D resin printer called the Mini Giant, made by Ifun. Okay, I see the FEP film in the back here. This is a very robust printer, not plastic, all metal, industrial. Leveling feet on the bottom, the big 5-inch touchscreen. Oh, this is a little heavy. Here's the back. So here's the FEP film. This looks like fan, your on-off switch, and you have another on-off switch here for your main power. I don't know. We'll look into this a little bit more. This is the first time I've seen 2 power switches. Kind of interesting. Alright, so let's get this thing unwrapped. But yes, they reached out to me and said that I was chosen. And I gladly accepted. I am more than happy to go a little further than just consumer products. Industrial is always nice to see what they bring to the table. Their technology is usually a little different than consumer. I work in a custom printing company, so I know how some of the printing technology changes. Obviously, it's nowhere near as quick as what some of these consumer LCD 3D printers are coming out. As quick as they're coming out, I mean, they change 3 things on it and upgrade the screen and it's a new printer. You know, industrial are kind of built to last a little longer, so they don't come out with as many so repeatedly. And when they do come out with them, it's a robust printer. Not that consumer grade printers aren't robust, but they're you know, it's like your home desktop printer that you know, print stuff out of, compared to going to Kinko's and having them print out your photos for you on one of their HP printers or something. You know, things are a little different. So I see we have a USB port on the side over here. Okay. Take this off very carefully, the Fepto. I will have to say, besides now knowing that it's a fully metal enclosure, which I really actually love, that it's going to make, if you do have a spill or something, it's going to make cleanup a lot easier. It won't discolor or melt the plastic like you get on some of the other ones. But one of the main things I really loved about this printer is this door, the hood. It's not even a hood, it is a door. So no more having to lift up a box cover or lift something up and have it take up more space than the actual printer footprint. This is okay. I gotta take the rest of this out here. Yeah, I'm still taped on this side. And I like how they taped it closed too, or open, so that it actually didn't get damaged in case the side got punctured. Alright, they use some sticky tape. That's good. It means stuff ain't moving around too much. Okay. So, but I mean, look at that. No more having to lift nothing off. It's just nice little handle. Do your stuff. No more having to put it somewhere. No more having to have extra space up top. That is a lovely design. I love that. So again, like I said, I noticed the USB port over here on the side. Nothing over here, okay. I hope everyone's been doing good. I hope life's treating you well. It's going to take me a little bit to cut some of this tape open here. But if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hit them buttons down there. Get notified of when new content is coming. Like I said, you may never know what it's going to be. Try to bring new and interesting things, and not the same old stuff everybody else is. And I hopefully don't keep you entertained a little bit. I don't know. Alright. So it looks like we can take the build plate off now. That's a nice little handle there. Well, look at that. That's a nice little handle. No more trying to grab the little thingy up top. Whew. Okay, so I'll bring this over here a little closer. So yeah, see, look at that little handle up there. I mean, that makes pulling that off so much easier than grabbing the little thing and trying to hold it. And this is bottom of the build plate. I'm not sure what that is, if that's just something printed on there as a guide to make sure they got it sanded flat. It is pretty smooth. Oh, I mean, it is pretty smooth. It's got a little texture to it, but whoopsie. Don't want to sit on that. Maybe you've seen a trip to the ER. Okay, so let's try and pull this out. So I do just want to say thank you to Carson and JoJo and Melody and the entire Ifun team and developers and just everybody at Ifun. A, for making great products and resin, and B, for also allowing me to test and review this product and choosing me. I'm not sure how many other people were chosen. Very interesting how you guys got that tape back there. Now, I did have to pay the shipping fees on this. So they did cover the cost of the printer, but I did have to, so this was not completely free. I did have to pay cost of the shipping, which wasn't too cheap. Like I said, this is a all metal printer and coming directly from China. It's is what it is. I'm definitely not dissatisfied. So here we have a very interesting vat. We got some handles on it, some red knobs. The handles actually stop the hold down knobs from coming out. Oh, wow. That is a very interesting, look at that. Very, very interesting design here. If I'm bring this a little closer. So it has handles here, and they swivel. Oops. And they swivel. Very, very nice. You can see all that. But yeah, we have a square vat, so you can pour out of any corner relatively for draining. That's a very interesting design. They do have screws on the bottom for feet, so that when you set it down, your FEP does not touch the surface you're putting it on. Let's grab a little flashlight here. I'm not sure what all this residue is here. I'm not sure if this is a used unit, test unit that they sent out to me, but there's definitely some splotches on the screen. And around the thing, the tape. May just be from testing prior to shipping it out, and obviously they have to clean the parts and they can't send it with the resin all over it, so that would make sense also. So this must be the parts kit. I mean, actually that kind of lets you know that they tested the printer for inspection to make sure everything was working properly. Just like some FDM printers, they come with filament still in the nozzle, which proves that that printer was tested. Some companies, they just assemble, throw it in the box, and you get what you get. I've fell short of a couple of those. So let's see what else is in the box here. Oops, they got this taped pretty good too. And that was taped all the way down the sides. We got some foam. We got the 24 volt, 240 watt big fat power brick, power cord, and we get a bag of goodies. You always like a bag of goodies. So what do we got? We got some tweezers. That's a new item to add. I haven't seen tweezers added before. We have a plastic spatula for using in your vat. You have your clippers. You have some gloves. Always make sure to wear gloves when you're playing with resin. Always use in a well ventilated area also. You do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Allen wrench kit. You have 2 funnels for if you have a failure and you need to strain your vat, you want to pour that through here back into your bottle so that you catch any debris that may be floating in the resin. We have the spatula that you use on your build platform. Do not use this one in here. You will puncture a hole in your FEP and you will not be a happy person. We have a couple extra little screws. I believe these might be for the other side for your vat. to replace your FEP film. Because they're too small for the outside here. Okay, and last but not least, we have the magical USB. All metal construction, not one of the cheap little plastic ones. Even comes on a key ring. So let me clean up real quick here. Just bear with me. I'll get this thing plugged in, and I'll grab some alcohol, and we'll clean this screen. And we'll give her a gander, see how she looks. Okay. And we have power. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the red switch. And I'm going to flip the yellow switch. Okay, so the yellow switch, I believe, is going to be for the air circulation, constant temperature. Okay, so let's go into our options here, and I will pop this USB into computer real quick just to see if it has any manuals. Hopefully it should, more than just that little piece of paper. Okay, so we have a quick print guide, mini giant basic user tutorial, printing failure handling, and quick print guide Excel spreadsheet. We have slicing software, parameters of the package, and all your supported sheet 2 box files for installation. I don't believe this is a added printer in sheet 2 box yet. I believe it's something you have to set up as a default printer and add Ifun's Mini Giants configuration files. You have your after sales contact information. You have the FQA sheet. That's a Word document. You have orthodontic and mold test, or you basically get a dental mold. Instructions for use, the Mini Giant manual, and the packing list. Let's open the packing list and just check and make sure everything is right. Should be. So we got the Mini Giant, we got the vat, we got the platform, we got the clippers, the tweezers, the USB, the funnels, the release film, gloves, power cable, and the 2 spatulas. So check, we got everything there. What else is on here before I open the manual? We have a maintenance video, the leveling, replace the FEP film, and replace the print screen. And we have jewelry casting tests, which that folder is empty, unfortunately. Yeah, that's a bummer, because that's what I was really looking forward to doing with this printer, because I have a couple furnaces to melt down brass, gold, silver, copper, aluminum, all that stuff. So That's what I was going to use the jewelry casting resin for. I've been waiting for a decent printer to use that on to get the high quality detail. So I'll have to ask them about that. Just check the leveling video real quick. See if this works. Yep, and these are going to be your... You'll also be able to find these on YouTube. So they do theirs a little differently. So you have 3 screws on each side, and you stick 4 pieces of paper, 1 under each corner. And you only loosen the middle 2. Here's what it's looking like from the video. So I will definitely be trying this out just to make sure it's level. Okay, so let's go back, get out of here. Let's go check the manual real quick. Instructions for use. Mini Giant manual. This is a Word document. Mini Giant operation instructions. We got the description, precautions about Mini Giant, printing parameters, packing list, machine overview. Okay, yeah, so you have your detailed manual on the USB stick for the printer. I don't even know if I'm in the screen at all here. If I'm not, I'm sorry. Precautions. Yep, uniform production, advanced optical engine, high printing accuracy. Then desktop printers using a light source solution with a more uniform optical path with a light uniformity of more than 96%. No printing of severe environment, I mentioned that. Reduced post-processing, precise printing, more compatible, yep. Okay, printing parameters. Overall size of this is 300 by 300 by 500, so that's the footprint that this will take, that's all. 300, 300, 500. We went through the build size, which is 143, 89, and 150. We have our 5-inch touchscreen. You have your 4K monochrome screen. Here's the pack list. And touchscreen. Okay, so all it says is switch and plug on the back for what these are. But when I turn this one on, I hear it kick on some extra fans, so that's got to be for the constant temperature. That's going to be my guess. Does it say how much resin the tank can take? That is one thing I have not seen stated anywhere so far yet. So what is the max resin volume? I mean, there is a max line on there, but install sheet 2 box, so we're on installation. Resin types, printer. That gives examples of all the different options in sheet 2 box. So here's the leveling process. Okay, I'll have to play with this and see how this goes. I'll have to watch the video again. It seems it's a little different. It's not your normal hold down, tighten your 4 on top, and color a day. Well, let's grab a USB and let's see if I can pull up that test file. On here. So let's go print. Okay, look at this. We're able to get some options. And it looks like this is just going to be the STL. Yep. So jewelry casting, and you can see there's nothing in jewelry casting. System, we got about mini giant, beeps on and off, got a screen adjustment, good, confirmed. After sales service, language, and your tools. You have your manual up and down, your home button, your basic 0.10 millimeters, 1 millimeter, and 10 millimeter movements. Exposure test. Let's put this for 5 seconds and test. Okay, so we're good there. We have our set 0 button. We have the stop button. We have a clean raw material button. Set this for 5 seconds also. This should light up the whole screen. So this, if you have a failed print in your vat, you run this for a couple seconds, what your normal base layer is, and you're able to clean anything that's stuck to the FEP off with a full exposed layer the size of the vat. Makes it nice for cleaning and getting all the little particles that are stuck, but you still want to strain your resin if you do have a failure after you do the cure. If you have a full vat, empty some out. Make sure you leave enough in there to cover the bottom so that when you do a full exposure, it has something to cure in there. Okay, so we'll go back, and that is everything. So let me just grab some alcohol real quick and try and clean the screen. It's a little empty here. This is a lint-free cloth. This is not a paper towel. Don't want to use anything abrasive on your printing screens. Paper towel is essentially cardboard, just a little softer. So it's got a lot of fibers and can leave dust and residue. And now this does look like it has a glass screen on there, which is good. That always helps a lot, rather than just a polarizer film and having to add a screen protector like you do with some consumer printers. Screen is probably the most expensive consumable you will ever have to replace in a printer if you have a mishap, or even just in your screen life. Resin, obviously you're going to go through tons of resin, but alright, so that's starting to look a little better there. Grab a little Windex. Foaming glass cleaner is another one that I like to use. That does help get the screen pretty clean also. There we go, that looks a lot better. Yep. Okay, so you have two holes back here. One is sucking in air and one is pushing out air, and I feel this one on the left is pushing out heat. So that's what that yellow button in the back is for. That is for keeping your resin at a constant printing, or a constant temperature for printing. Optimal printing temperature, there we go. Okay, so, I mean, other than beveling the plates and getting sheet 2 box set up with the software and parameters for this, let me just double check real quick. I don't believe it is in there. I did just download the latest sheet 2 box the other day, and I did not see Ifun in there. But so far, my first impressions and thoughts. This is a very well built machine. Like I said, this is all metal, very highly constructive. But if this is being used in a dental office, you need something that you can sterilely clean real quick, and a metal printer is easier to clean than a plastic printer. Plastic is kind of porous. So that is a little difference between industrial and consumer. I do not see Ifun in here, so no, I will have to set it up under and others. Okay, so yes, my first impressions of the Mini Giant. This looks like a very well built, well thought out machine. I'm sure something any dentist office would love to have sitting in their back corner so that they could do their orthopedics and molds and Invisaligners, surgical guides, all that stuff right there in-house. which would make our lives, being the customer getting the work done, a lot easier. But there is the one thing I do need to do that I forgot before I do any testing on this. And that is see what the FEP is tension to in hertz. I'm not getting this stuff off the FEP. There we go. That's better. Alright, so let me grab my phone and open up the Spectrum Audio app. Of course, it's dead. Go figure. Well, that's going. It's starting out. Let's take a look at this leveling. So, we're going to open this video back up here. So I need this. And we need maintenance video, leveling. This works. Okay, remove the build platform. Go to Tools, go to Manual, hit Home, grab 4 pieces of paper, so yes, that is way too high. Oh, nope, okay. Oh, it's just at a bad angle. So then we tighten this down. All those are a little loose. And so which one would this be here? Let's see, I'm not sure. That is pretty solid. So I don't think it's those ones. Yeah, those are pretty tight. Those just may be the floats. Not that one. And I can't turn that one either. Yeah. That one don't want to turn. Okay, there we go. So, looks like it'll be the 4 on the outside. Loosen these. They're free now. So let's see if I can get the other little one to turn down here. Okay, so now that one turns. Let's see here. Let's loosen up this other side. We got right, left. Okay, so what we got here? Okay. Okay, I see how this works. Okay, so basically, your middle one here is what raises this up and down. So the more you have your outside 4 corners up, the more you can raise the build platform up by screwing these down, and lower it by loosening them. So right now I have it all the way loose on both sides. You don't want to screw them all the way out, just make sure that they're loose. And okay, I can wiggle the plate. Okay, so that's all good now. I get it. Okay. So let's make sure our papers are under all the corners. Now what we can do is we can take and start tightening the corner screws. And what that does is that's going to push the corners down on how tight you want it. See, so I just cranked on that one, that ain't going nowhere. So you loosen that up a little bit. That's a little better. So we just put these down so that they're just touching. Still a little loose, so we can push them down a little more. You know, it's too tight. Loosen it up. Okay, that's a little better. The front one's a little too tight now. Just one more time. Remove the build platform. Get home. Put your paper down. The four corners. Build platform on, tighten, pull the four corners of the paper, check for loose or tight corners, too loose. Tighten it. Tighten diagonal screws, lower the diagonal. Okay. So yeah, so there's the corner set screws. I don't think I was supposed to loosen these middle ones. Okay, so let's check this out. Lower these. Okay, so the center screws are just guide screws, so you do not need to loosen those. Well, actually, you may need to loosen them. Just don't loosen them too much because you will lose. They do come out. Okay. So there. I got that all nice and loose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise this up. I'm going to put this on. So we'll go home. I I do have these screws almost more than halfway up. Okay, now we can go ahead and screw our screws down. And I'm just getting them so that they're touching. Okay. So now we check for our tightness or looseness. So we're a little loose. We come down a little bit. Okay. Okay, so you want to be able to pull it out, but not push it back in. So this one's good. This one's too tight. Okay.
wish these were a little longer. It's really hard. So much easier. Okay, last test. Okay, so we open our Spectrum sound audio app, and as you can see, this is moving back and forth, which is recording the hertz that my voice is putting off or any sound in the room. So what I want to do is I'm going to take my vat, I'm going to set it on the table here. I'm going to put the phone in front of it. I'm going to grab a pencil with an eraser. Nice soft one. And just basically let the pencil hit the back of the FEP with the weight of itself. So I'm at 250 hertz. So next time I change my FEP, I know I need to go to 250 hertz to get to what the factory came from, or as close to. Okay, we have no little dots on the bottom from the eraser, which is good. We can put this back in. Again, there's little feet that line up with holes that are in there somewhere. That's what you get for doing it sideways, Clint. There we go, clip right in. Screw these down. And we're all good to go. So there we have it. leveling is definitely a little challenging on here, but I may have had something to do with that by loosening the 2 smaller screws instead of just adjusting the 4 outer screws when I was leveling the plate. That may have been my fault, but what these all do, this is what I found out. So each corner screw is a push down for the corner. Is for that corner, okay? And these center two is going to allow you to bring this up or down to take it away from or put it closer to the screen if you need to. But you have to remember, if you're too close to the screen and you loosen these up, the middle ones are going to slide up as far as your outside ones are raised to. So if you only have it raised this much, that's as much as your plate's gonna go. If you need to lower it down, you loosen the 2 center screws, and that'll bring your plate down a little bit if you're too far away from the screen to begin with for leveling. And then you go through and you set your 4 corner screws. That took me a little bit to figure out, but I got it. And I will update with some of my future prints to come, and a follow-up of the testing and final thoughts. But again, my first initial thoughts here. I love it's an all metal machine. I really like the rolly door, keeping the resin at a constant temperature. So if you're in a dental office and you keep it cold, you ain't gotta worry about that affecting the resin. If you're someplace where you get winter and snow and it's just cold naturally, environmentally, you don't have to worry about that with this machine. This is built very well from what I can see so far. I mean, very, very robust. You have linear rail in the back as your guide. You have lead screw. You don't have your normal brass couplings in here on your lead screw. So that's something a little different. Normally you get your brass ones. These appear to be silver, maybe stainless steel. You have your optical end stop on the bottom. You have folding handles on your vat. I mean, that's definitely a new one for me there. Sorry about the emergency vehicles going by. I can't control that. But yeah, so far, initial thoughts. This looks like a very well built, well thought out printer for your industrial use. And definitely a step up for your consumer home user. It's definitely a very nice, clean machine. So I will keep you guys updated. Sorry if the video played on for a little while and drug out. I just wanted to show you guys the stuff that I went through in looking the machine over, leveling the plate. That did take me a little bit, but hopefully with this first test print we will find out, and I will also share the results. And again, thank you, Ifun. Feel free to reach out to Carson, Jojo, Melody, any of the Ifun team, crew. They are very, very helpful. There for you anytime. Jump in any of the live streams. They like to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Take care, everybody, and have fun making. And thank you for any of the dentists and jewelry makers that have joined into this unboxing and introduction to Ifun. Thank you.